Well, here we go. We are at Atlanta Motor Speedway here in Georgia, and we've got a bunch of killer cars lined up. I want to take a quick second and thank the sponsor of this video. We're doing a whole Road to SEMA thing where we're promoting SEMA throughout the year and getting you guys to get involved and see the kind of cars that you can go to Las Vegas in November and check out for yourself, because the SEMA show is where all of the best cars come together, all of the best builders. It's where the industry debuts its new products, and it's an organization that really helps the entire car community. So big shout out to them. I'll be telling you more about them later in this video, so stay tuned for that. And then I'll be showing you some cars that you could actually probably go see at SEMA during the SEMA show itself. Here we go. Old crew cab 3+3 camper special Sierra Classic 3500 is an absolutely immaculate vehicle. I mean, just look underneath. You got bags with big Fox shocks with a remote reservoir. As you can see, it's got 4-link in the back. Obviously things have been customized a good bit, but beautiful paint. And the coolest part is this thing has incorporated a lot of different control modules from the actual Duramax truck that all of the parts underneath this thing came from. So got a Duramax in here, and it's even got traction control and all kinds of crazy stuff going on that you wouldn't know without digging in a little deeper. But coilovers on the front, PSC power steering. Yeah, this is an amazing truck right here. So speaking of SEMA quality vehicles, this right here was actually at the SEMA show here a couple of years ago, built by Mike Copeland, Dodge Rampage, with a 392 Hemi and a transaxle in the rear. Seeing it on Power Tour after seeing it at SEMA is so cool, because that just shows you the level of vehicle that comes out to this event. And there's so much more to see if you actually go to where these cars are all being built for. Another pretty wild builder out here you'll see pretty much every year is Weaver Customs. They got a little International Scout pickup truck. I don't know any of the details on this thing, but Weaver Customs is always building some pretty unique and outlandish builds that are of the highest quality. And seeing this thing have modern touches in it, mixed with the old styling, and obviously a bunch of custom metalwork to make this thing look the way it looks, is pretty impressive. They actually bring these vehicles out on the pilot transport truck and display them here in the venue, and it's always super cool to see. So really, really cool build.
I know the deal.
So this is the man himself from Weaver Customs, and he's always building some crazy stuff, and he's gonna give us a quick rundown of his little International Scout here.
6.9 International, custom tube chassis, LS3 hot cam, put a couple 68 mil turbos on it, 480 trans, you know, and she gets down.
That's awesome.
So Hot Rod Power Tour is the place to test them and you know, rock on. So I mean,
you driving it? You driving it this year?
Yes, sir.
Just showing it off where they haul it, but driving it.
Rock and roll, but you know, just something different. You know, that's kind of our deal.
Well, everything you build is so unique and a little bit different and custom, and it's not like what everybody else does. You have your style that you put on it. I have my style, and you know, I mean, it's fun. So we'll give it a hell. We got 5 miles on this thing before we load it. 5 miles. Transport, yep. 5 miles. You know what? Very good. Best of luck. Yeah, that's awesome. Is this going to SEMA this year? It'll be SEMA. Okay. And then Barrett Jackson and all that. But yeah, it'll be fun. You know, we'll show it all around, and
you know, just have a good time with it.
That's perfect. So
Yeah.
I'm actually partnering with SEMA to promote SEMA level builds at Power Tour. So what's your opinion of some of the cars you actually see out here compared to what you see at SEMA? Because SEMA, they're just sitting there. Power Tour, you're seeing them used.
But then, you know, the Hot Rod Power Tour, we're driving these things. You know, it's a down and dirty type deal. You know, and we got a lot of good people around us to help us. You know, these things break down and whatnot. But yeah, SEMA and Power Tour, it's totally different deal.
Completely different ballgame. But the fact that you see SEMA level vehicles at Power Tour is always blowing my mind, and I think it's amazing.
You know, and get them out and get them driven and see what they're all about.
Yeah, so come out here, see a couple SEMA level vehicles, go to SEMA and see all of them.
She'll be at SEMA, and you know, it is what it is. Rock on.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. This thing's killer. So one of the companies that you'll see a ton of vehicles on their wheels is Mob Steel, Detroit Steel. They have this killer Lincoln Continental, and look at these retro 80s themed wheels with a purple like stripe on the tire, pink line on the wheel, pink mirror brakes sticking out right there. Yeah, there is some cool stuff here at Hot Rod Power Tour. So I'm here at day 2 of Hot Rod Power Tour. This is Mike Copeland from Arrington Performance, who is the guy for Gen 3 Hemis in the community. And he is actually driving his Dodge Rampage, which is a SEMA car on Power Tour.
Well, of course. I like to build cars you can actually use. So that's what this is. You know, it pushes the boundaries quite a bit, but at the end of the day, it's still a car. And it has an overdrive transaxle. It has air conditioning. It has a Pioneer audio system. It has everything you need to run down the highway. So why not?
That's awesome. Well, I love seeing stuff that's this over the top that you do get to see out in Las Vegas, actually out in the wild. So give a quick rundown of the car, the combo, and what kind of inspired it and led to it being how it is right now.
Okay, so it's a 1984 Dodge Rampage. I bought it. It was a 13,000 original mile car. A little old lady owned it, and I knew I wanted to make it handle. I always wanted to build a mid-engine something. We knew it was going to be Gen 3 Hemi and flared the body, which I think looked dynamite. We made the rear rolled pan, made the front splitter, that's carbon. We made the filler between that and the ground to set height out of aluminum. Built a roll cage. I mean, we just, you know, kind of went about building a car. So it makes 650 horsepower, and the big XT Bear brakes all around it with 6-piston calipers, 14-inch QA1 mod series shocks, so we got all the adjustment in the world. But like I say, it's got all the creature comfort. It's got air, it's got 1,000 watts of Pioneer audio. It rides good, it drives good. It's fun, and people literally lose their minds when they see it. This thing's 2,900 pounds. 60% of the weight's on the rear tires. It handles phenomenal. It brakes unbelievable, and you can drive it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Mike. Absolutely killer car, and I've always wanted to hear firsthand the story of the car, so it's amazing to hear it. And I'm so glad you're out here driving it. That's seriously so cool.
That's the goal. That's the purpose.
I like it. Go.
Hey there, I'm Alex Taylor. Behind me is Bad Marrow that I have actually had for 10 years in July, so pretty exciting. So this is a car car that I took on my very first drag week in 2013, and I raced for like 7 or 8 years. I have a new car now, but anyways, this is the OG. So 850 certed, quarter-mile car, LSX, twin turbos under the hood, but it has been to SEMA. We're on Power Tour right now, so Power Tour is a really fun event. You know, it's a little more laid back than say like your drag week or something like that, but you're out, you're having a good time with friends that are like-minded, with cars, nothing better than that. So this is a fun event because you actually get to cruise your car, you get to drive it, you get to use it, you get to do what it was designed and intended for, and a little different than SEMA. SEMA, you know, is always a great time, great show. Lots of prep going into SEMA because you gotta have your car looking spick and span for being in the show. So anyways, both fun places for different reasons, but we're having a great time on Power Tour.
Perfect. Thank you, Alex. There we go, driving into historic Rockingham Speedway. Lots of amazing vehicles lined up here outside, and they just had the All-Star race here recently for NASCAR, so it's pretty cool to come here after they've kind of revitalized this old track. So we're gonna find a spot to park and see what kind of trouble we can get in. This right here is a very special car. The one and only Project X has been converted back to a gas vehicle by Lucky and Alex. This car has been at SEMA multiple times, and now it's out here at Hot Rod Power Tour being shown off to all the people that love Project X. That is the most iconic Hot Rod Magazine project car to ever exist. It has been in more magazines than I could ever explain, and is probably the single most important test bed of automotive parts of the community. So all those parts that SEMA has helped organize and get out there over the years, they've been tested on that very car right there. It was even swapped to electric for a couple SEMAs ago. So it's good to see it back gasoline powered, because this crew out here, yeah, they like gasoline engines. But anyway, super cool to see that car out here. It's one of the most iconic vehicles you will ever see. So we're here at Rockingham Speedway, day 3 of Hot Rod Power Tour, and I have tracked down the one and only Murray Pfaff from Pfaff Designs, and he's got a vehicle behind him that is definitely pushing the bounds of innovations and all that stuff that you would see at SEMA. We're out here at Hot Rod Power Tour. So,
well, I think it's really the embodiment of SEMA and the show itself. I mean, sure, you approach all these companies and you want to include their products in your build. You want to go to SEMA, but at the end of the day, you want to use those products. You want to get them on the car. You want to see how they do. You want to give them feedback. And that's what I'm doing right here. Since I've built this vehicle just 4 months ago, I've put over 11,000 miles on it. So it's a true testament from everything from, you know, forged line wheels to super forged brakes to Livernois performance tuning to, I mean, I can go on, Continental tires. It's got everything going on, and I'm using it and having fun.
Yeah, and you were talking about, I mentioned the innovation behind these things. Like, this is a newer vehicle. A lot of the vehicles you see on Power Tour are older vehicle, like Alex Taylor's Camaro. You have a new vehicle, and people are probably using you for R&D, honestly. Like, that's kind of how it goes.
Well, they are, and don't forget, I have old vehicles too. A lot of us all have old vehicles, but we also drive new vehicles. So it goes to show what people can be doing with what's being built now to carry your passion forward, to add performance and horsepower to something that you go buy at the dealership. This thing is 4,800 pounds. It's a 3-liter. It's got the cutest little turbos, but they kick butt. And it's out there spanking, you know, 5.0 Mustangs. It just shows, with a little bit of fun, a little bit of tuning, a little bit of aftermarket, what you can do to your daily driver.
Yeah, it's truly impressive. And to see a SEMA quality vehicle, which this definitely is something like what you would see at SEMA. There would be cars just like this out there, and you're out on the road actually using it. That's what it's about. Yeah,
we were out on the road getting thumbs up. You know, I did the hand-formed aluminum front chin splitters. I've 3D printed the fender flares with the guys from All Speed Customs in Muskegon. I built the aluminum rear wing with the adjustable wicker bill. I mean, so I've done the personal touches on it to make it my own. You know, of course, the design and the wrap and the graphics. My friends at Axiom Graphics up in Detroit area did that. And so it's going out and finding all of these different people that help make me look good, make me successful, and in turn, I'm hoping to tell everybody about them and keep the ball rolling.
Oh yeah, it's all about taking innovative new products that you would see at SEMA and applying them to a vehicle you're actually going to go use in the wild. And then, who knows, maybe they'll even see this car at SEMA this year.
I hope so. My friends at AMSOIL, I'm going up to their 50th anniversary in July. I hope we can have it there with them or any of the other great companies that help me out with it. I certainly hope you get a picture of the rear window there so that they all get credit, because there's a lot of them that do this. You know, without the AMSOIL, Corsa exhaust, Stita, they did the lowering springs and the bigger sway bar that makes this thing handle like a dream. Treadwear, you know, for fun. We got
your tire graphics on there.
Graphics. We got the AWR Racing with the rear differential. 3D car care. I mean, it's the list goes on, so I won't waste your time, but please check it out and check them out.
No, it's awesome. Thank you, Murray. I appreciate your time.
Anytime.
It's a beautiful build, and I love that you're out here on Hot Rod Power Tour using the thing like you're supposed to. So I've been seeing this truck around that my buddy Solomon brought out, and we're gonna learn a little bit more about it because this is definitely a SEMA level truck out here on Power Tour.
What up, everybody? It is a SEMA level truck. I mean, this thing is pretty wild. It was at SEMA the last 2 years. It's not mine, but I get to drive it. It's a 1979 F-150, but it's sitting on a 2014 Roush Raptor. So everything about this is literally a Roush Raptor, from the keypad, remote start.
Yeah, look at that.
So everything. I mean, it's the coolest truck.
Yeah, let's see the inside of it, because that's really cool. It looks fairly stock other than wheels and tires on the outside, but then you go inside and you see the full Raptor interior. But did Raptors have wood burling like that?
No, so they added this. They added all the burling, custom seats, custom door panels. They even stretched the cab 4 inches. So this door is 4 inches wider, custom curved glass, all the trim was custom made, all of that. That way the Raptor chassis is not modified whatsoever, like the wheelbase itself. I mean, they use the, let me pop the hood, you'll see. I mean, down to integrating the Raptor hood latch, you know what I mean? So like,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Jeez.
everything. But you can see like they used, you know, the Raptor fender with the old fender and put it all together. Same thing with the firewall, merged the 2 cowls. And yeah, it's a really cool truck, and we made it. I mean, we're here. This is the last day.
Yeah, that's one way to push the boundaries, is just taking a modern chassis and putting it under an old body, which you are starting to see more and more chassis swaps at SEMA.
And what was really cool is we were able to utilize SEMA Garage because they do all the 3D scanning. So we were able to get that from them, and it made the process even easier.
Wow, that's cool. So yeah, you never know what you're gonna run into out here. It might look like an old Ford pickup, but really, it's a Raptor in disguise. I mean, just look at those control arms and shocks in there. Ready to rip. Yep. Anyway, thank you, Solomon. Super cool truck. Great to see you out here on Hot Rod Power Tour. All right, so another really cool build out here at Power Tour is this Young Gun, which is a competition that happens at SEMA. He's only 19 years old. He's gonna introduce himself, tell us a little bit about his car here, and show us just what makes this car special.
72 Plymouth Duster that I found in a field in New Mexico. Me and my dad drove down there, picked it up. It was basically just a shell that was supposed to be rust-free. Ended up doing floorboard, quarter, tail panel, cowl, Newnan fender, a bunch of other miscellaneous pieces. So quite a bit of metal work. And then the biggest thing is put a 5.3 LS in it with the T5 5-speed. Got QA1 suspension all up front, and built an 8 1/4 with posi in the rear for it. So fairly simple budget setup, but it's my first car. Had it for almost 4 years now, and this is 3rd Power Tour in a row, so it's been a good time.
How old were you when you got the car?
15.
15 years old when you bought it, and it was your first project, first car.
And it is my legitimate daily driver, so pretty fun car.
So awesome. So he's building another car. It's a 70 Dodge Charger, and he's planning to have it, hopefully, at the SEMA Young Guns competition here in the next few years. So stay tuned to this guy. His name is Kale Makrowski, and he's gonna be doing some cool stuff. So beautiful car out here. He goes out and he drives it and he beats on it. So, well, that is a wrap here on Hot Rod Power Tour 2023. I hope you enjoyed following along as I showed you some of the coolest builds out here at this event. We're leading up to SEMA coming up here towards the end of the year, but there are SEMA builds all around at every show across the country. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the most innovative builds out here at this event that were actually being used. And if you want to go check out more builds like that, you need to go get registered for the SEMA show at semashow.com, and be sure to check out SEMA Fest, a new event they're putting together that's going to be really cool. So a lot of innovation happening at those events, and you should be there. It is the place to be here in the industry to see the most amazing builds from all over the country. So anyway, that's going to wrap things up. Please remember to hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot more than you know. And drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you guys on the next one.